Hello everyone, Andy Schwab here with your Northern Ag TV. As you may have heard, I was lucky enough to be selected as the Montana Farm Bureau Federation's ACE Leadership, one of the classmates that is, for 2025. That program, of course, stands for Advocate, Communicate, and Educate. And we just wrapped up the first leg of the seminars last week that happened 2 days out of nearly every month this year. One of the leaders of the program is Carly Johnson, MFBF State Governmental Affairs Coordinator, who depicted the program's basic functions of developing confident and effective leaders at the local county levels.
I think in all of our rural communities throughout the state, we can see the value of leadership, and that's part of our mission at Farm Bureau is thriving rural communities. And so we're working to build a network of leaders that can go back to those rural communities and really serve them through the County Farm Bureau network.
Now, our first seminar included speakers Bruce Vincent, Saren Bonekamp, and Laura Nelson, and we'll meet again in March in Helena for our next seminar. Well, USDA released its crop production annual summary, World Ag Supply and Demand Estimates report, December 1st grain stocks, and the winter wheat seedings report on Friday. Probably the biggest surprise came from the corn yield estimates, as the USDA cut the bushels per acre by 4 to 179 bushels an acre, while pre-report estimates had anticipated an increase instead. As you can imagine, that helped drive the corn prices higher by double digits. However, the same could not be said for the wheat complex. Following the release of the winter wheat seedings, the USDA said there was a 2% increase from 2024 at 34.1 million acres planted of that winter wheat. Luckily, a less than expected increase in the USDA ending stocks helped neutralize the drop in the dollars for wheat prices, as USDA predicted no changes to the U.S. wheat exports and the on-farm wheat stocks were up 16% year over year. Now we'll look at some of the prices in our next segment. Also coming up in our next segment, we'll look over Belle Fourche Livestock prices, as that auction barn is in the process of new ownership. Travis Lynch of Belle Fourche is acquiring one of the busiest sale barns in northwest South Dakota, and he told me he's ready to help the producers achieve some of the highest prices on record.
Right now, I would tell you to get rid of them while I can. I think, I always play it safe, I guess, more than what's to come, and what's right here in front of us is so phenomenally high. I've never seen it like this. And the old guys, you hear them talk, they've never seen markets this high right now. And I've had an old cow buyer one time told me you could lose so much money waiting for another nickel that you could go backwards. So, it's a good market now. I would consider selling now, I guess. I, for one, sold 300 calves yesterday and got along very well.
Now those prices on the latest sale after the break.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
Talking with someone that is stressed out, those are difficult things to approach, but if you're good friends with those people, reach out and say, I'm here to talk to you. We can find somewhere to get some assistance. It's hard to get involved, but at the same time, you want to just say, hey, there is help available.
For more tips in dealing with stress in agriculture or for free counseling for egg producers, visit beyondtheweather.com.
Well, cash cattle sales saw another week of record-setting prices. Those were boosted by a $7 per hundredweight jump in the box beef, and packers needing to fill the orders that were slacking over the holiday season. However, many questions will remain again this week if they can do it again. For the local auctions, as mentioned, we'll look at Belle Fourche Livestock. Says they had over 2,600 head sold through their sale barn last week, and they saw some very strong prices with quite a few offerings of the coal cows bringing over $2,000 a head, and heavy 6-weight spring calves averaging right at $307 a pound. God bless Wyoming. Sticking to the Dakotas in our auction markets, Newell Sheepyards held their first test in 3 weeks. It saw some strong demand from the buyers. A snowstorm that had limited the head counts ultimately drove the dollars higher, with heavy lambs running $186 at $2 a pound, and 60-pounders, they nearly achieved $3 a pound themselves. As mentioned earlier, wheat markets were very quiet on Friday, as USDA stance on wheat both domestically and abroad was overwhelmingly neutral. As expected, USDA raised the wheat imports due to the stronger U.S. dollar index, in particular to the strength relative to the Canadian dollar. Now, Friday morning's wheat export sales were also a marketing year low for the wheat. However, spillover support from the double-digit gains in the row crops helped hold the wheat above drowning. Well, that's going to do it for our ag markets and our ag news here on Northern Ag TV. I'm Andy Schwab. Have a great rest of your day.